In this video, we're going to talk about natural versus artificial selection. So natural selection is the process by which individuals in a population undergo changes in their characteristics. This occurs when individuals have certain variations, certain alleles or traits that give them a selective advantage. It means that the next generation will also have these useful traits. This is also sometimes called survival of the fittest. And it's important to note that natural selection does not make the organism better. It just results in organisms better suited for their current environment. If the environment changes, they might actually not have the selective advantage, and they might not survive to reproduce and pass their traits on. So one example would be peppered moss. As you can see, it's very hard to see the moth on this tree, but there's the outline of it right here. So there are two different variations of peppered moss. There's light colored and dark colored. Before the Industrial Revolution, there were higher numbers of light colored moss because they were able to hide on the lighter colored tree bark. When the Industrial Revolution took place, there were more coal burning factories, which led to more pollution and more soot covering the trees. So the tree bark looked darker. So now the light colored moss were selected against because they were easier to see on the dark trees than their dark counterparts. Artificial selection is when we selectively breed animals or plants based on their desired characteristics. An example would be cats. We have so many different varieties of cats or even dogs, and that's because there was artificial selection happening. So Darwin observed that using artificial selection, changes in a species could be produced in a short period of time versus the thousands of generations that were required for natural selection. And this is an example of all the different, the timeline of all the different breeds of cats over time. So you can see they all came from originally in a common ancestor, but then they kept branching off and becoming very, very distinct.